told him no each time. On the seventh time, when he asked me, I was on the phone, and he said, "Will you marry me?" And I said yes. And when I said yes, we was on the phone. The phone hung up. Marvin didn't call me for 3 days, and I don't know why he didn't call me. So when he called me, he said to me, "You all right?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm all right." And he said, "So you really gonna marry me?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, what changed your mind?" I said, "Because I went to thinking, if a man gonna ask you to marry him 7 times, why would you say no when most men don't ask you to marry them 1 time?"
Okay.
So I said to him, I would marry him, but I didn't expect to get married so fast. Within a month's time, Marvin had went to the prison. He did his counseling. He did his background check. He did everything he was supposed to do. When I went to see him one Saturday, he threw all the papers on the table from his counseling, from his background check, and he had a nice tattoo that went all the way across his neck that said my name.
Wow.
And he said, "I already did my part. Now you got to do your part." So when I looked down, he showed me his neck. I tell him he crazy. I looked down at the paper. It's a letter from the prison saying, "You are approved to get married on August the 16th, 2020. So he had did all of that. So when I'm looking at the paperwork, August the 16th is my birthday. Now what I didn't tell you was, me and the first husband ended up separating August the 15th, the weekend of my birthday. So I told you Marvin was clever. So Marvin said because I had cried so many years about the first husband leaving me on my birthday weekend, he wanted to marry me on my birthday to have something positive for me to think about, so I wouldn't keep dwelling on the divorce.
Oh, that is really sweet. Yeah, that's nice. Now, okay, so you're going through the process. You got a dress, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And did you all have rings? Like how does that? Because again, me and my wife has been married for 2 years, going on 3 years. But all that stuff is pricey. How did you go about getting your dress and your ring? Were you excited? Were you nervous? What was that process like going for you?
Did your dress have to be approved by the prison? Like, how does that work?
Oh yeah. Does your dress have to be approved by the prison? Does your ring have to be approved?
This is Marvin here. I was excited because he was a ladies' man. I was excited because at this point in my life, I finally felt special with him because I'm like all the women in the world. He didn't have to choose me to carry his last name. So when I sat down and I thought about it that way, I became excited. Now, you can wear whatever dress you want to wear to the prison. I wore an actual wedding gown that cost me $1,000. Many people normally just wear some jeans, slacks, but you got to know Sharon to know I'm flamboyant. I need you to see me before I get there.
Okay.
So I got this dress. The rings have to be approved, but the rings can only be up to $100.
Oh.
So I ended up getting the rings from Walmart.
Okay.
And then you have to take the rings and they have to, inspect them and everything. But it's no limit on the dress or what you want to wear. Now for the inmate has to wear his uniform. He cannot switch his clothes.
Oh wow.
Yes, so he has to wear the prison uniform. You can wear whatever you want. The rings have to be $100 or less, and then you can have up to 6 people. 6 people to attend your wedding.
Really?
And the 6 people have to be on his visitation list. Mm-hmm.
Is there a photographer? Like, is there food? I'm curious now.
Once you get married, they give you 2 hours with you and Marvin in one room with just one officer.
Are we saying conjugal visit right now, or is we talking about something else?
No.
Okay.
Florida doesn't have conjugal visit. No conjugal visit.
Not even for married people?
No, Florida doesn't have conjugal visit for married people at all.
Wow. And that is CC talking in the background.
That's okay. So like I said, and what you have to do, They do have it's called a canteen man. They do have the canteen man there, so during this 2 hours, you are able to eat and buy whatever you want. Now, it's a cameraman there. You are able to take pictures as you want. So they make it really nice for you. My experience is nobody told us that you had to buy the picture ticket before the wedding. So what was supposed to happen is when you came to visitation, the week prior to getting married, you were supposed to buy the picture ticket. No one told us that. So when I got to my wedding day, I was not able to take pictures.
Oh.
So I was aggravated. So when I left the prison, I then called the prison back to complain to them because that was something that they should have told me ahead of time.
Yeah.
So you got to know me. You know, how are you going to let a woman get married and she got this dress on? This dress costs $1,000. I don't know how much it weighs, but I can't take pictures. So they told me, they said, what you can do is next weekend, if you wear the dress back to visitation, we would allow you to take pictures. Now, what they did, which was beautiful that I didn't know was, remember I told you, when you get married, you only can have 6 people.
Yes.
What I didn't know was, because, you know, they took responsibility for me not getting a picture ticket, they had the visitation room already set up for me when I walked in.
Oh.
So when I walked in on this weekend, I actually had a full wedding. Because Marvin was standing there, all the inmates and all the visitors who got a visit that day was able to join in our wedding. So that was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that's nice. Now, just out of curiosity, as we're talking about this question just popped in my head. Are they allowed to be free during the wedding process, or are they still in handcuffs?
No, they have on no handcuffs. You're in a room that you're locked in with you, your spouse, and whomever that came to see you. But no, you don't have on any handcuffs or anything. When you go to visitation on Saturday and Sunday, nobody in handcuffs. Everybody's just walking around freely in this one area where they allow you to be.
Does that make you nervous being in prison around, especially as being a female? Does that make you nervous being around all these, prisoners? Some of them in there for murder and God knows what else?
For me, I never was afraid because I'm from Orange Center, number one.
Okay.
Number two, I'm married to a gang member. I'm married to the leading crip. What do I have to be scared for?
Okay.
It was not scary because, like I said, he was like my protection, my bodyguard, my everything. I never had to worry about anything in prison or on the street as long as he was alive.
Okay. Now, you say there is no conjugal visits in Florida.
No.
So, how do you really... Okay, so are you faithful this whole time?
Okay, I was faithful, and then I messed up. I'm going to tell you what I did. What I did was, I was faithful for a period of time, but me and Marvin had this type of relationship where we would talk about everything.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, if I saw a guy that I liked it or whatever, and I wanted to be with him, we would talk about it first.
Okay.
And then he would give me the okay. Only thing that he said was he didn't want to know details.
Okay.
Okay, so if you went out and you messed with John, okay, you can come back and say, hey, I messed with John, I stayed the weekend with John, but don't tell me details.
See,
so that's kind of like how our relationship went.
That's what I tell my wife, even though she got mad at me a few times. But I told her straight up, like, if you go to prison, I'll hold you down. I won't go anywhere. When you get out, I'll still be here. But I'm probably going to sleep with other people.
That's one thing that I love about Marvin. Marvin was not controlling, and Marvin was understandable. Marvin knew that he had a 39-year sentence. Marvin knew that he had a nice young wife. He knew from time to time it may be somebody that she would want to be with. So I love that because I have a prison ministry of 30 guys. Okay? And you can imagine some of these guys that sit here and say, oh, my wife know not to sleep with nobody, or I've been in here 10 years and my wife ain't been with nobody. Now, I do know some young ladies that their husbands have been in there 5, 10 years, and they really haven't been with anybody.
Really?
But there are some women. I know a few of them, but the majority is some people that have relationships while their people are in there. Now, let me tell you the flip side of this is, some people don't have to go out and have an outside relationship because even though it is against the law, they have sex in the visitation room.
Let's get to it. How you make that happen?
Well, how you make it happen is, normally how you make it happen is, you would talk to 2 or 3 of your people that you know, and you say, listen, I need you to watch while me and my husband have sex or me and my wife have sex. So normally just say, for example, you find a place where there is no cameras really, or you have to really time the officer. So for example, if an officer come out every 10 minutes, okay, you know I have 10 minutes to have sex. So you have certain people who's watching you while you are having sex. So that's one way that you can do it. Now, the other way is actually, just think of a movie theater. The prison room is kind of set up like that. So you're really having sex in this little movie theater, and people can really turn around and watch you if they want, or, look at you if they want. Most people know to mind their business. But you do have some people that's just freaky, and they're going to turn around and watch you. But if this is the only intimacy that you have with your partner, do you really care if somebody's watching you? Most people don't care.
That's a good point. Were you and Marvin able to get y'all freak on?
In 29 years, me and Marvin have never had sex.
Really?
And yes, me and Marvin have never been intimate sexually. And that is very hard for people to believe. But like I said, even on the streets of 3 years, I was not going to have sex with him because I didn't want to be one of those women that he just met and have sex with. Now, in the prison, I wanted to do it, like I said, because I was out here by myself. I was very attracted to him, sexually attracted to him. He wanted to do it. There was a time where someone actually, one of the guards actually told us, hey, I'll give you 30 minutes in this room. But at this particular time, I was still currently married, and I didn't want to per se be cheating on my husband.
Okay.
So I didn't do it. Now, the time that I wanted to do it, God just spoke to me and told me that I could not do it. So that Saturday, I left out of that prison, went in my car, and I just cried like 2 hours before I left. And what he said to me was, you are different. He said, now, if you're in there, for example, and you're having sex as a leader, what are you going to say to the people that look up to you? Because people are not going to see it as her husband been in prison X amount of years that you haven't sex. They're going to make it be something totally different than what it actually is. So as for me, 29 years of me knowing him, almost 25 years of him being in prison, we have never had sex at all.
Now.
And I'm sad about it. But, hey, what can you do?
Now, you said that even your phone calls was recorded. Y'all didn't get freaky deaky on the phone?
Oh, it was going down.
Okay.
It was going down. The phone, they wasn't going to do nothing to you on the phone. So, like I said, that's basically where our activity went from, was the phone. And then when they upgraded to this video thing, you would get a phone with video. But, nothing physical, but yes, video and phone, absolutely. It's no kind of way you would have made it any other way.
Them was some sticky ass phones.
Wow.
Listen.
When your partner's locked up like that, how do you keep the relationship new and fresh and exciting? Like, because you can't see them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like y'all can do anything, like y'all can't go to the movies, y'all can't. How do you keep that fresh and exciting?
Well, what we did was, we always had a bond. Like I said,